Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Friday. How's everyone doing? Oh, I see Jane in the back. Let me pull you in. Hi, Jane. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. It's just pretty warm here. I'm just wearing the sweatshirt just for the show. It's pretty. It's like it's 85 degrees outside.
Ooh, okay. I think it's probably around that here. It's pretty warm anyway for the UK.
Yeah. It's 4th of July here. So a lot of barbecues going on.
I know, but you haven't got the day off.
Oh no! Right after this, I'm hitting the grill. So I'll be barbecuing. I have some friends over, so it's gonna be some good stuff. So if you guys are tuning in, we have Jane Hunt, and we'll be talking about why AI search loves digital PR. And let's see here. Let's see who's in the chat. We have a few people in the chat already. Let me see here. Maddox. How you doing, Maddox? All right. Any fun plans for the weekend?
Well, I'd like to say yes, but the truth is no. Basically, I've got to sort out my garage, and I've got to have a clear out. I'm going to have a proper garage detox. But actually, I'm looking forward to it. I like a good clear out. So
nice.
So your weekend sounds much more interesting than mine.
We have Victor says, "What's up? What's up, Victor?" We got less than 10 minutes to go, and if you're just tuning in, we have Jane Hunt, and we'll be talking about why AI search loves digital PR. She is the author of the Digital PR Playbook. If you haven't get it, you can get a copy on Amazon, right? You can get a copy of this on Amazon?
You can, yes. Yeah, there's copies on there. Thank you for the plug. I appreciate that.
Of course. Kenneth says, "Hey, Dre and Jane."
Hey, Kenneth.
Hi, Kenneth. All right.
I'm impressed. You got people tuning in on a Friday, and it's the 4th of July.
Yeah. Of course, we have our dedicated viewers that come on all the time just to say hi and come and join the chat. Latanya says, "Hi, Jane."
Hi, Tanya.
All right. I was because I haven't spoken to anyone yet, so I was practicing warming up my voice. I was like, "Wee-ah!" I stretching my muscles out.
I haven't done that. I haven't prepared.
Natalie says, "Happy 4th of July."
I've got quite a loud voice, so I'm generally fine.
No, it's a ritual I do right before the show, just so my voice doesn't crack. I do. It's kind of like a breathing exercise. I go wee, ah, wee.
I like that. I'm gonna try that, but I won't try it now.
There's one time I was doing it when I was walking my dogs, and my neighbor saw me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, they looked at me crazy. I was like, "Oh, I'm warming up my voice."
Brilliant.
All right. So so recently I haven't been really doing any of the reaction videos in the very beginning, so I'm gonna go straight into the interviews. Right once we get to the countdown, I'll just do a quick intro, and then I will introduce you right into the show.
Perfect, thank you.
Ernesto says, "Yo, yo, yo."
Do you know what? I love your intros and or your kind of sounds and things. I don't know whether you remember, but in the UK, there's a DJ called Tim Westwood. Right, and he used to have a show on Radio 1, which was huge, and it was all explosions and stuff in the background. It was amazing, and your show reminds me of that all the time.
Oh yeah, there we go. Love it.
It was an old school hip hop show, hip hop and R&B and things.
Nice. Hey Dre, hey Jane Fletcher. Hi Fletcher. Thank you everyone for tuning in on a 4th of July weekend. Glad you can stop by. We got about 6 more minutes to go. be sure to get your questions ready. As you know, digital PR. Well, digital PR is. We're gonna talk about like AIO, AI mode. Is ChatGPT too? Does digital PR? Does ChatGPT like digital PR?
As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure it's the AI overviews and the LLMs. So yeah, we're kind of talking about all of them. Yeah, obviously to varying degrees, but yes.
Yeah. You get a lot of clients asking for it now, or like are they saying, "Hey, are you able to get us in these?"
Yes. Do you know what? We've had a couple of calls in the last 2 weeks from US brands who are like, help. We've lost half of our traffic. We need support. We need answers. What can we do? They're having a proper panic because it's really impacted them.
Yeah. That's like a lot of the C-levels and like marketing leaders are like that are not within search. Are just seeing like our organic traffic just dropping, and it's you can see the impressions are growing, definitely growing, but clicks are just not there.
Exactly. So yeah, we've had some interesting conversations, and we had our first, without saying too much, we had our first AI search RFP. So our first kind of pitch for AI search the other day, and so that was interesting.
Nice. I'm looking to see how that goes. Let's see here. All right, we got less than 5 more minutes to go. Thank you again for tuning in. If you're just tuning in now, we have Jane Hunt, and we'll be talking about why AI search loves digital PR. We'll be talking about AIO, AI mode, pretty much getting you guys in answer engines. If you guys want to learn more about answer engines, go to AEO.so. AEO.so. It's a learning. It's like a interactive checklist, and there's some tools there that you can use too. You can scrape the AIOs with certain keywords, and you can generate an LLMS.txt. You can create some queries that will generate the AIOs. Cool stuff. Go to AEO.so. AEO.so.
Is that your platform, AEO.so?
Yeah. I built it pretty much because I was practicing. I've been doing a lot of research myself and trying to see how I can get into AIO. And, so I've just documented all my tactics. I mean, may not work, but may work. But hey, I got in. So this is everything I did.
I love it. That's what everyone needs to be doing. Trying, testing, sharing their knowledge.
Yeah, I put a disclaimer on there. Like this is not guarantee success, but if you do everything on here, like you'll definitely get some results because, I mean, I've also was able to, because a lot of people are putting tips on LinkedIn. So I kind of grab their tips and I kind of throw it into it's a knowledge base. So I was like, and I give them credit or link to link to their website or their LinkedIn, sharing like all these little nuggets that people are sharing. So
yeah, I love it. And there's so much sharing going on right now. There's so much research.
Yeah. So definitely after our episode, I'm going to scrape out some things and put it into the knowledge base as well. So because this is perfect. This episode is working with answer engines. We're going to AIO and AI mode. All right, we got less than 3 more minutes to go, guys. Ooh, I can't wait to take this off.
I'm not surprised.
I have my fan. You see, like my plants are they're all moving because my fan's going off.
You need a t-shirt or some vests, with the logo on too. Yeah. Yeah, we have JBH jumpers, and I was like, there's no way I can wear a jumper today.
Are you going to be speaking anywhere soon? Are you coming out to Brighton SEO San Diego?
No, I'm really gutted that we're not going to be there this year, and it'll be we've been obviously both times before, so no, I'm really disappointed about that because I had such a great time in San Diego last year and the year before.
Yeah, San Diego's a great city.
It is. I know, it's so clean, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it felt so safe. And I was like, this is amazing. I could live in San Diego, and it's not often I say that about places, but I really like it here.
Yeah, definitely clean. That's one thing I've noticed. All right.
And I realized
Holly, hey Dre, enjoying the competition. Hey Holly. So, what's happening right now is like there's a bunch of us going after King of YouTube SEO, and that's kind of our challenge keyword that we're trying to do to get into AIO. And Holly is one of them.
Okay.
She's trying to be the queen of YouTube SEO and the king of YouTube SEO.
She's a competitor. She's a rival.
Yep. All right, we got less than 1 moment to go. If you guys are just tuning in, we have Jane Hunt and why AI search loves digital PR. Okay, so I got about 30 more seconds to go, so I'm going to put you on. I'll put you on the side real quick, and I'll introduce you in about a couple minutes. All right.
Yeah. Hey, time to get it started. No delay. Let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre de Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO. You will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO video show where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released in the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and today we have Jane Hunt of JBH Digital PR. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Holly, Fletcher, Ernesto, Natalie, Natanya, Kenneth, Stefan, Victor, Maddox. Welcome everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, why do SEOs love the farmer's market? Lots of organic content.
Jane is a public speaker, digital PR, and content expert. She is the CEO and co-founder of JBH. She provides a lot of insight into innovation in digital PR through LinkedIn. She's the author of the Digital PR Playbook. Please welcome Jane Hunt. Jane, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I love it. You found all my clips.
Of course.
That's amazing. I need that.
All right, everyone, let's give a round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, Jane, this is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. How does Jane get ranking on page 1 of Google?
Good question. So, good quality content, lots of PR. What can go wrong? They're my two things. So obviously great content, get those rankings. Digital PR helps amazingly with that too.
Love it. First knowledge bomb of today. Hold on, let me rewind this real quick. Okay, take us way back to when you first got into SEO.
Wow, it was a long time ago. So very briefly, JBH set up nearly 12 years ago now.
12 years,
and we started off as a content agency, and we were doing infographics, interactive content, and we started to get involved in link building. And at the time, it was much easier. It wasn't so competitive. We were doing really cool things. We got coverage on Mashable and, really, really great publications. And that was kind of our foray into link building. And then over the years, it's turned into digital PR. So it's that crossover from traditional PR into digital PR for link building. And that's where we are now.
So what was the pivot? What made you kind of go that way? Was there something that you're seeing that the market was going this way? Yeah, I'm curious, what made you go that way?
I think it was kind of selfish in that I just I really enjoyed doing link building. It was really creative. It was fun. You know, when those links come in, that feeling you get as you secured like really nice coverage and links. And we just thought there's an opportunity here. And it was like 2017, 18. We're like, right, we're going to stop doing all the other services. We're just going to go full force into digital PR. And so we've just built a team around that. And we also have the SEO team that supports us. And we're niche. We're amazing at what we do, but we just love digital PR.
Love it, love it. So, you know, before you started your agency, you had to learn the game, right? So I'm curious, like, how were your learning sources, and you know, who was that everyone you're following 12 years ago to get you like started in digital marketing?
Oh, I feel like you put me on the spot now, because I don't count myself as an SEO, so I don't want to do a disservice to anyone out there, because my roots are really kind of in the PR and content marketing side. But you know, of course, I follow all the greats. I'm a huge admirer of like AEOSO, and obviously Michael Kingston's some awesome stuff at the moment. There's so many to speak of, and of course my co-founder Andy Holland is like the most amazing SEO. He's such a good source of information, not just on SEO, but also on how marketing works, how consumers think, and kind of joining it all together in a way that I don't think there's as many SEOs out there doing that today.
Love that. And you speak a lot, right? You do a lot of speaking. Do you speak like how many times a year, like at different conferences or events?
Not as many as I used to be honest. I do a lot more kind of webinars, podcasts, YouTube, and things like that. But yeah, I've done kind of obviously Brighton SEO in the past, Marketing Week in the UK. So yeah, I've done quite a few, and then we used to host our own kind of marketing meetups as well, that we called Missing Link in the UK. And that was more kind of COVID times where we kind of hosted those. So yeah, I've kind of done all sorts in the past.
Love it. Okay, let's get right into today's topic, which is why AI search loves digital PR. Okay, so I mean, you know, when you first hit me up, I was like, oh man, that's true, right? I'm actually seeing a lot of great digital PR happen. So I'm curious, like, you know, how does AI determine which brands to include in these generated answers?
Good question. I think that's the question everyone's asking at the moment.
Yeah.
And really, you know, AI is looking for three things: consistency, credibility, and relevance. So very similar to traditional search, but whereas traditional search kind of focuses on those links, AI is much more concerned with brand mentions in expert content, use of named sources, content that directly answers common queries. So keywords are still relevant, but they don't hold as much weight as those kind of long tail queries that AI is so kind of built for in that respect. And then also the alignment between your brand and specific topics over time. And I think there's a myth that, you know, you just write one piece of content or one listicle, and bam, you know, you're the brand, you're the agency, you'll come up in all the AI overviews and LLMs. But that's not the case. Actually, it's kind of trained on your brand being linked to specific topics over time as well. So, you know, I think there's a lot out there about kind of gaming the system kind of quickly and things, but there's a lot to be said for being consistent with your brand and kind of your topical authority.
Love that. Do you think, I mean, are you guys structuring your, like, how are there certain stories that get picked up a lot more that you're seeing? Like, what kind of structures are you seeing that's working really well?
Yeah, good question. So I think this on-site content is one thing. So I won't go into that too much because I feel like that's Andy Holland's kind of area of expertise. But kind of off-page, when it comes to PR, it's very kind of focused on making sure that pitch answers like the common queries, so that, you know, people might be searching for, and also that kind of question and answer shows up in the first paragraph of that coverage.
Got it. I like that.
So it's about how you format that kind of pitch for the publication, and, you know, hopefully they'll kind of obviously take that formatting as you've written it and use it, because obviously that's, you know, they want it to surface in kind of AI overviews and LLMs too. So hopefully, they'll keep that formatting and it will answer that query and be surfaced.
Excellent.
Okay. So I want to see if you are you, so when you do, like, let's say someone wants to do AI overviews or and get answer in AI, are you like formatting? So are they two different pitches that you're doing, or are you kind of like doing all your pitches now as one whole? Like, because like I'm just looking at different stories.
Do you mean the difference between for traditional search and for AI search?
I'm saying traditional. Well, traditional PR. Well, traditional, like how you were doing digital PR before and how you're doing digital PR now. Is there any difference there? Yeah, that's what I want to.
Yeah, because for digital PR, for what we're now calling traditional search, which is crazy, for Google search, for ordinary search, it's more about obviously pitching, amazing stories. Obviously making sure there's that kind of backlink in there, that the keywords surround that link, etc. But with AI search, because those hyperlinks, they don't hold the same weight that brand mentions do. Which is something that everyone has to get their head around, because this is like the opposite of what we're used to.
Okay.
So those brand mentions carry much more weight, according to a lot of the research that we've been seeing. So actually, you're not after a link. The objective is to obviously get that brand mentioned and to get that query in there surrounding that brand mention, so that topical authority is linked to the brand.
Love that. Okay, so speaking of brand mentions, why are unlinked brand mentions so important in this AI visibility?
Good question. And very annoyingly, it goes against everything we've been doing in digital PR for the link building. But it's because LLMs, they don't need that hyperlink to understand what's going on in the web. They don't need that hierarchy to understand kind of the context or kind of the topical authority, anything like that. And unlinked mentions in really authoritative content, they're used to train AI to associate brands with key topics, and that's what makes them a critical signal for inclusion in AI overviews and generative search results.
God, I love that. So what do you think about if they're actually, like, let's say the brand mentions, but there's still links. Do you think links still matter, like traditional backlinks in this, or have you seen anything?
Well, it depends what you read at the moment.
Okay.
But according to research that Ahrefs released relatively recently, links weren't huge criteria. They didn't hold as much weight as brand mentions did, or branded anchors. And in that respect, they're not as powerful.
Okay.
So actually, we're just looking at the power of a brand mention or a citation rather than kind of that hyperlink. But I apologize, I've forgotten what the original question was.
Oh no. I'm talking about like how these links and brand mentions are like the weight of them, right? It has like backlinks matter now to get into these AI, but you're saying just brand mentions.
But I saw something on LinkedIn that actually said that people should still be building links for AI search, which is contrary to kind of what we've been seeing elsewhere. So I don't know whether that's true, how much weight there is in that, or whether it's people kind of clinging on to building links. I don't know.
Got it. So I'm curious now, like, how is your team, or even how are other PR teams trying like to intentionally generate like these unlinked mentions? Like how are you force it in? Do you just say your brand every single time around certain things? Like how is like this, how many times a brand mention has to be into a specific story?
Oh, it's really difficult. And, most agencies are in the learning phase, just like kind of most brands are. So we're learning kind of, the best ways of pitching. We're learning, obviously, how to kind of monitor and track.
Oh, yeah.
So, how many times a brand surfaces in AI overviews. However, that's really difficult because it's so nuanced and those queries are so different, and the responses will be different in all the different AI overviews and LLMs. So it's really difficult to see consistency for queries and whether your brand is surfaced in response.
Nice. Okay, let's get into this a little bit deeper. I want to dive deep into like how AI is changing how we measure digital PR success. So like, how are you measuring it then if you know it's getting a little harder?
Yeah, good question. So as I mentioned, we're not anywhere near as focused on links as we were or for traditional search, because obviously we're still doing that portion. But really, we're looking for visibility, obviously. So a brand's visibility in AI search, and that brand mention, as I mentioned before. And so we're looking for how frequently a brand appears in AI overviews. Obviously, what the topic is or what the kind of response for the query is. And also increases in branded search volume as well as one of the key metrics.
Okay.
And also kind of how consistent you're mentioned across trusted sources. And this is regardless of whether there's a clickable link.
Love that. Okay, so how about, what are you using any tools to do that? Because I can obviously, it'll be really tough just doing some searches and doing, okay, it showed up. No, okay, doing it manually can be really tough. So I mean, how are you doing it right now?
I mean, you can do it manually, but it's time consuming and it's so inconsistent, the results. So that wouldn't be my best advice. And also, all the tools out there are in their infancy. The results seem quite random. So we're doing a lot of testing with the tools themselves. So, we've been looking at Ahrefs, SEMrush, also, any kind of Chrome add-ons and things. But also I've been reading about Profound, which looks really good. But all these, you kind of need to have demos, you need to have some time spent looking at them and things. But the Profound tool looks as though it covers the most kind of search overviews. So that looks like it's the most kind of exhaustive in that respect. But yeah, we're trying to figure out how we can put kind of dashboards together that pull in obviously all the metrics I've mentioned, so we can kind of give our clients their own kind of reporting rather than rely on what's over here. So Ahrefs might do this bit well, another tool might do that bit well, so it might be ChatGPT, or another one might do Copilot. They're trying to bring it all together really, so we've got a nice overview.
Love that. So I think your mic or something is getting it's kind of getting muffled. Do you have a mic, or is it there's?
I know I've got buds in. Should I take them out?
Because it's you were like, your voice just kind of is like low now. Just to make sure, I want to make sure that you can hear you.
I don't. Should I raise my voice a bit?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine, because it sounded like something was rubbing against the mic or whatever that what it was. So.
Oh, it might be my hair.
There you go. Oh, okay, there you go. All right.
Is that it? Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, it was your hair. All right, love it.
Sorry, everyone.
No. Okay, so you're grabbing all these Profound. I've been like hearing a lot about Profound as well. I have a few clients that use it, and it's a pretty good tool. So I see it like doing a lot of great things. I mean, even there's some other tools like Demand Sphere. Have you heard of Demand Sphere? I believe is another one.
I have, yes. Yeah.
So they're doing some good. They're doing some good stuff. Even SE Ranking is starting to do some good stuff too. They're actually taking screenshots. Like you can see it like every single time. Like every day, I'll take screenshots of what's showing up in there. So definitely something.
I think that's really useful. That proof.
Yeah.
Of, before you actually use a tool or invest time in a demo and stuff.
Yeah. So so with all this AIO happening in AI mode, you even started experiencing clients saying, "Hey, our traffic's gone," and they're panicking, right? So so I'm curious, like, what are you telling them what is your message to them to calm them down? Say, "Hey, it's okay. Okay, we got a solution."
Yeah. So good question. So there isn't a kind of a magic solution to this overnight, unfortunately, but we do know that kind of tweaking your content on site is one powerful thing you can do. Obviously, reformatting and structuring and making sure that you're actually answering those long-term queries that people might have. But also, Offsite comes down to PR. As much PR as you can do as possible for your brand, because now you want to get your brand out there as much as possible to, you know, to improve the chances of being surfaced for whatever it is. And I don't mean like create any old rubbish content and put it out. It still needs to be like authoritative. You need expert commentary in there, so you've got that authority and credibility. And yeah, it's just to be as seen as much as possible, unfortunately. So there's no real quick wins here. I mean, I know there's some kind of listicle content going on that people are trying and things, and that does work. But it's not the only thing.
Love that. Okay, so I'm curious. You know, so they're saying listicles work. So what else are you seeing work? What are some things that you're what kind of like things, stories and stuff are working for you?
Yeah. So with digital PR. We're focusing on looking at our clients' specific topics.
Okay.
Obviously, the queries related to those topics. And then we're pitching publications, obviously, with those stories, with that expert commentary in there as well. But we're also pitching publishers that have those AI deals. So they have deals with the AI overviews and LLMs. So we know that if we're pitching to one of those publications and that story gets covered, our client's brand is much more likely to get featured than if we didn't pitch that publication.
Got it. Love that. Okay, so a successful campaign. Like, can you tell us, like, what's the most important AI first PR metrics to track? I mean, you say brand mentions, a lot, but I mean, like, you know, is the most important thing? Like, how many times it shows up? I mean, like, yeah, what are some metrics that are the most important to you to share?
Yeah, of course. So obviously we've talked about this, but your presence in AI overviews.
Yep.
So how often and frequently you're showing up. And again, this can be tracked manually, but that's hard work. Or via third-party tools. Also branded search volume.
Yeah,
so you're looking for a rising trend that indicates your growing brand visibility. That's a really good indication. And also what we call entity association. So is your brand repeatedly mentioned near target keywords? Okay. And this is something we've been doing in digital PR for trad search too, because we know it works well there. But this is just kind of, sorry, go on.
Oh no, so how are you tracking the entities with it related? So I just kind of, again, is it manually just kind of like seeing how many times it's your brand's attached to an entity?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, with whatever kind of coverage or presence we can see, like within that kind of actual content, you know, you can actually tell whether obviously the brand mention has the kind of keywords or query surrounding it, and that's the entity association. And again, it's something we were doing for traditional PR because we've noticed that, you know, if the keywords related to a brand surround the branded anchor, then the links worth much more than if those keywords weren't surrounding it. So it's similar in this situation, that you want your brand repeatedly mentioned near those target keywords or queries.
Love it. Okay, so what about the amount of distribution or pickups, right? Because I mean, when it comes to traditional or you know, digital PR, it's about like getting picked up by like these big publications or people or journalists who are writing about you. I mean, is the amount of pickups matter here, or is it just having solid sources?
No, I don't. I mean, obviously, if it's good quality and you're answering specific questions at scale, then potentially. However, that's going to be hard work. So really, it's the relevancy of your brand to the query with your brand, with the response, if that makes sense.
Got it.
So
yes, yeah.
It's having a better quality response than anyone else to that query.
Got it. Love that.
Okay. That's most important.
Okay. So let's go into more of like, you know, what mistakes our brands are making when trying to measure for AI-related PR success. Like what do you think they're doing wrong here?
Good question. So firstly, over-relying on a link count for this. Because as I've mentioned, if links don't hold as much weight, what's the point of having them as a kind of key metric for this?
Mm-hmm.
Also, domain authority, that's not a proof of success here either.
Mm-hmm.
You're much better focusing on the publications who have the AI deals as a metric. So securing coverage, the brand mention on those would be much more worth having than having a high DA publication that doesn't have a deal or isn't as relevant to the topical brand. Also ignoring branded search trends and entity mentions. So if you're ignoring that, then you're not really looking at kind of how you're doing versus competitors. And if you're gaining ground, and that's what you want to see, if you're out there as much as possible, you are being surfaced, and you're being surfaced regularly, then the hope is that obviously you're gaining on competitors or overtaking them in that respect.
Got it. So I'm curious, when you're finding like journalists to pitch and stuff like that, like what's your research, or like or do you know some places that you know that are already like getting accepted into AI, so you try to go after those publications or pitch them first?
Yes, there's lists of publications that already have AI deals that are being updated, probably like weekly, if not daily. So there's certain publications in the UK, there's certain ones in the US that would be pitching for that reason.
I'm curious, is that list available anywhere, or can you mention a few of them that you know for sure?
It is. No, I mean, I found it recently with a Google search, and I think it came up in an overview.
So you pretty much search publisher deals or publishers or media companies that are in partnership with AI, and then you can see a list of those.
You could just you could just search which national regional publications have partnerships with AI search or LLMs, and just see what comes up. It's a while since I looked, so I might name them and it not be 100% correct, but I'm sure it was like The Guardian, Forbes, and there were a few other big hitters that already have those deals. So it's well worth having a look, because it should dramatically improve your chances of being seen.
Love that. Okay, so we're coming close to like the last few questions here. So if you guys have any questions in the audience, go ahead and ask them in the live chat. But so I want to know, like you mentioned that you recently got an RFP from a client. So I'm curious, like how'd that go? Like, I mean, because I want to walk us through, and like for other people that want to kind of like get into more. Like I'm curious how that went, like how that structure went and how that procedure went. And
I've got to be careful what I say. I'm not NDA'd because I'm not at that stage, but it was interesting in that the RFP kind of requested all the answers and all the tools, and specifically KPIs around this, so what we would KPI as an agency. And it's not the same as link building, where we've been doing this for a long time. And therefore, we know what we can KPI as an agency. We know what we can do kind of per sector. We know what types of publications we can get in. This is newer. So I think there's brands that will want proof of concept. They want to know what campaigns were really successful, and because of the tracking, the challenges of tracking, campaigns and how often you're featured, etc. It's not that easy to track a campaign like you would track one for digital PR for link building. So everything's still in its infancy. So I think, and it's probably not what brands want to hear, but we're still in that test and learn phase. Everything's evolving. All the tools are evolving. A lot of them are still in beta. So we're not there yet. So we'd love to be able to say, oh yeah, we can do XXX, we can get you on these publications, you'll be featured this many times in, Gemini or Cope or whatever it is. The reality is it doesn't work like that yet, because we just don't know enough. So I think there needs to be a little bit more of a kind of realistic approach to this, and brands need to say kind of, we want an agency that's trialing things, that's, creating their own dashboards, that knows where to pitch, but the expectations are a little bit lower because you're going to have to work with this. It's a collaborative thing.
Love that. Okay, so I'm curious: is a someone that's going after, is your pricing different now? Like, is it harder like to go after the AIOs, and if that's the purpose, or whether it's traditional backlinks? I mean, is your companies like is there a lot more work done where you have to like charge a little more, or yeah?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, and no one's asked me that yet. So I think yes is the brief answer. I think there's more challenges as far as pitching, tracking, reporting. It's, as I said, it's in its infancy. So, we're learning as we go as well. And there's a lot of research that needs to be done. It's not like we can just get a list of keywords like we do for, traditional link building and then off we go. It's not the same. Then it needs to be much more in depth in terms of, what are consumers really interested in? What are those queries they're going to be asking in relation to these topics? And then how do we write stories around these big queries?
Yep.
So and make that a really interesting story for a journalist. So I think it's more time consuming, and in that sense, it probably will be more expensive. And obviously, the reporting is going to take more time.
Yep.
The reporting might cost more for agencies because we've got to obviously buy additional tools because use Ahrefs, SEMrush, etc. every day for traditional search. But they might not be good enough for this. So we might need additional tools. Well, we do need additional tools as well. So.
Yep. Love that. And guys, if you want to learn more about the digital PR, check out the digital PR playbook. You can see it get it on Amazon, right? So I'm curious, like, are there any other projects that you're working on right now? Is there like, are you guys building some internal tools at your agency there that, I'm curious, like anything going on?
We are, yeah. We're working on a few things. So we are working on internal reporting tools and, a really nice dashboard that, will pull in the metrics that we think are important and that we know will give our clients a really nice overview of how their brand is doing in AI search. And also we are launching a suite of AI search services soon, which cover obviously digital PR and SEO. So we're just kind of fine tuning these, and they will hopefully launch in the next month.
Love that. And so is your internal team of SEOs actually going to be working on the AI search for that, or are you going to be looking for hiring other specialists, or is your current SEOs pretty educated on what's going on?
I mean, we've got Andy Holland, who is just amazing.
You got Andy. I saw his checklist just got out, right? I need to still check it out. I put checklists on.
Yeah, I need to share the link with you. For the digital PR and the SEO checklist.
Yeah, is there a link for that checklist?
Let me find one.
Because I remember I put checklist on his comment, and I didn't get the book yet. I'm like, hey.
No, it's because we didn't realize how much demand. Stupidly, we did not realize how much demand there might be for this.
Yeah, no.
And he hasn't had a chance to go back to everybody. So that's our fault for not thinking that through properly.
Yeah, let's definitely share it out here.
Give me a moment. I'm just launching Slack because the link is in Slack.
All right.
So yeah, chat amongst yourselves while I dig this link out.
All right, guys. So be sure, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from, and if you want to get any more information on digital PR. So let me know. Let me see.
Right. Where's it gone? Where's this link?
I know it's on. Well, it's I saw your graphic on it. It's everywhere on LinkedIn.
I know. I mean, I've released mine. There it is. Right, I didn't have the right URL. That's my fault. How do I pop this in the chat? Now you're gonna have to.
Oh man. Okay, let me see. I think there's a. If
I put that in there, does that go somewhere? Can you see that?
Oh yes, I can. I do see it. So let me go ahead and share that. Okay, Victor says he wants the checklist. Okay. Everyone, this is the checklist.
Yeah, there's two. There's one for digital PR and there's one for SEO. So there's two checklists there.
Okay. Let me make sure. Let me click on the link. Let's see. Everyone here is typing in. I want the checklist. I want the checklist. Okay, let me just double check this.
I better check that link actually works. Yes, that's the right link.
Yep. Okay, they have a digital download digital PR checklist and download SEO checklist. Oh, so these are two different checklists, but specifically for AI search. I love that.
Yes. So you've got one for on-site and one for digital PR.
All right, love that. I'm gonna definitely download these two, and if anything, I will definitely give credit. I mean, of course, if I include this in my knowledge base, I can link straight to this here, or straight to your website, obviously. So, love that resource there.
Thank you.
Let me see here. I'm gonna bookmark this for myself. All right. Okay. So, I didn't see any other questions come in. So, like, this is the last question I ask always the professionals that come on here. If someone wants to get into the SEO game, even in the digital PR game, like, what would your advice be to them?
Oh, do you know what? It's such an interesting and weird time to be an SEO, and I'm not actually an SEO, but it's challenging, but also I think there's opportunities for new avenues in SEO as well, and new ways of thinking. So I think it's a good time to enter SEO. If you're somebody that loves learning, like researching, like testing out tools, then it's an amazing role, an amazing time to be an SEO.
Love it. And if there's any last comments or words for the audience to make this episode feel complete for you, please, stage is yours.
Thank you. So just do as much PR as you can. Those brand mentions are so important. You want to be seen absolutely everywhere, but based on your topical authority with expert comments.
Love it. Everyone's give a round of applause. Thank you, Jay. Can you hold on for one quick second? All right, guys, that concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you want to learn more about AEO, go to AEO.so, and also I will put the checklist into the description, or actually I'll pin it as the first comment so you guys can get it, because if you guys miss it here in the live chat, but I'll pin it in the first comment. So check it out, the JBH checklist on SEO and digital PR made for AI search. All right, till next time, I will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre de Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!